The Norwegian Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen is recognized by many as one of the best professionals in the game of chess. Carlsen has been a tough opponent in the field of chess for a significant number of years lately. He is renowned for his brilliant tactical competencies, profound game knowledge, and unflinching concentration. In a surprising turn of events, however, an adolescent genius did what was unimaginable and defeated the chess master. In this video, we will go into the match when a teenager crushed Magnus Carlsen. The start of the most challenging game. Magnus Carlsen prevailed in the World Rapid Championship 3 times in a row before 2021. Still, a young prodigy named Nordirbek Abdusatarova was inflicting terror in the competition and seeking the throne of Carlsen. While Nordirbek's brilliance was undeniable, Carlsen had plenty of experience with extraordinary results. However, Carlsen needed to recognize how amazing Nordirbek was in this instance. Immediately after the whistle blew to start the match, Nordirbek played an unexpected opening step by playing c4. Carlsen was taken aback by the move, which prompted him to hesitate for nearly 20 seconds until he could reply with the knight f6. White's pawns settled on c4 and e4, while Black's knights took up positions on c6 and f6 in an English opener. Carlsen positioned his queen on square f6, making a covert proposal for trade with Nordirbek's queen, which was positioned on square f3. This choice signaled a hasty move toward a dramatic showdown. Nordirbek saw his chance and quietly returned his queen to position d1 after declining the queen swap. Seeing the threat, Carlsen made an unsafe choice by moving his pawn to position g5. Carlsen attempted to force his rival into an advantageous endgame by reproposing a queen swap on g4. After that, Carlsen started tinkering with the piece, a telltale indicator that he was seriously interested in performing intricate calculations. Throughout the game, Nordirbek's pawn made its way to g6, where it was threatened with promotion to queen. Carlsen quickly responded to Nordirbek's attack by transferring his pawn to g8, stalling Nordirbek's advancement. The skill and abilities of both players. Foreseeing trouble, Carlsen threatened Nordirbek's pawn by advancing his queen to h7 and attacking it while exchanging pieces. The game moved into a phase in which the player's flow was precariously atop and shifted into this phase. Both sides had access to the same amount of assets, although Nordirbek had a checkered history. Pawn on h2 was waiting in the shadows like a deadly killer. He moved his knight to c5, presumably menacing a pawn, but laying up an ingenious capture, and did it with a hard determination. Carlsen was ready with a lethal counterattack if Nordirbek was to succeed in capturing the pawn. Carlsen eventually came to the realization that securing the spot had become a challenging endeavor. With barely any pieces left on the playing field, Nordirbek's previous pawn constituted a grave danger. He showed off his strategic prowess by moving White's queen and king into a forked position by moving his knight to g5. Nordirbek's lips broke into a sly grin as he handed Carlsen's king a check, indicating he was up to no good. Carlsen was furious, but he had to admit that the other person had made a brilliant move. Their skill was on full display as they nearly perfectly executed techniques from their extensive repertoires. Nordirbek's game-changing move, h7, came at a pivotal point. He risked reversing the game's characteristics by threatening to upgrade his pawn to the queenly status it deserves. To prevent this, Carlsen made the blocking action queen e5 even though time was running out, and the game's fate rested on his hands. Unfortunately, even if the move secured the promotion square, it was a bad decision overall. There was a brief opening for Nordirbek to take his chance. Luck, nevertheless, had other plans. The error brought about the consequences. Nordirbek missed an essential move, queen to d1, due to the stress of the time and the staggering sophistication of the position. After re-establishing parity, both sides stand once more on the same ground. Unable to accept failure, Carlsen responded to Nordirbek's checks by unleashing a torrent of checks on his opponent's king. This intentional action was taken to halt Nordirbek's pawn's advancement. The stakes were extremely high because any action could change the game's result. After several checks, it looked like we would have to settle for a tie. The players employed every possible strategy in their pursuit of success. But there was one more surprise waiting from fate. Carlsen committed an awful error at a pivotal juncture, and it would come back upon him. As a result of a momentary loss in decision-making, he exposed his queen by moving his pawn up a square. Nodirbek captures the moment and makes the deadly move of moving the queen to d2. Carlsen's stomach dropped as he grasped the consequences of his mistake. He had to make the one move that wouldn't lead to a check. However, he should have known that this would expose the square that his queen had guarded. His heart sank as the truth hit him, and he reluctantly accepted his fate. That's all for this video. Leave your thoughts on this moment. Also, take a minute out and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned. See you soon.